Welcome to the WACO Experience, an American story,
We the people.
with your host, D. Scott Smith.
In order to form a more perfect union.
Interviews with leaders in business, government, and nonprofit organizations.
Promote the general welfare.
Jobs, products and services, and infrastructure for strong communities.
Secure the blessings of liberty.
The WACO Experience is an American story, a story of communities across America. It is your story.
WACO is going to continue to transform. We're just beginning to see what the WACO of the future is going to look like.
The WACO Experience, an American Story, is sponsored by Lime Lily, Waco's only corporate gifting company. Send hundreds or thousands of gifts with elegance and style. LimeLily.com. Friends for Life, for over 35 years providing support systems and services for seniors and people with disabilities. Learn more at friendsforlife.org. The Aspects of Aging weekly talk show with Christine A. Smith. Unscripted conversations with experts. Watch each Monday live at noon Central or anytime at AgingBetterNetwork.com. Biddy & Bowes Coffee. Drop in for a hot or cold beverage. Biddy & Bowes provides jobs for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Visit them at 110 Franklin Avenue in Waco. The best way to learn guitar is with the Chord Buddy Learning System. This 100% U.S.-made product and Shark Tank winner will have you playing songs in minutes. Shop today at chordbuddy.com. Hello and welcome to the WACO Experience, an American Story. I'm your host, D. Scott. Each week, I dive into the stories that shape WACO. Stories of resilience, vision, and collaboration. Whether you're a longtime local or new to the area like me, I hope to leave you with a deeper understanding of what makes Waco a city to believe in. Today's guest knows a thing or two about building strong communities. Matt Meadors has served as the president and CEO of the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce for over 12 years. Under his leadership, the Chamber is known as a powerful support for economic growth, a champion of local businesses, and for strengthening tourism in the area. He has witnessed firsthand how Waco has transformed in recent years, evolving from a city folks might overlook into a vibrant, growing community that is now impossible to ignore. My journey with Chambers of Commerce began back in Corvallis, Oregon. As a board member, I worked on the strategic plan for the Corvallis Chamber. That experience showed me chambers hold a unique and relevant space in our communities. They are where leaders from business, government, and nonprofits come together, each with their own tools and united in their mission to build strong, thriving communities. Today, in this conversation with Matt, we'll explore the work the Greater Waco Chamber is doing to drive the city forward. The Chamber supports economic development, workforce talent, public policy, and has numerous programs and events for Chamber members and for the community at large. We'll talk about the companies that are bringing new jobs to the area, the economic boost derived from increased tourism, and we will glimpse into the city's downtown master development roadmap. This plan was adopted by the Waco City Council to support the vision that the downtown area and Brazos River are the heart of the community and, as they state, it celebrates Waco's distinct identity. You'll want to listen to Matt's insights and hear about the exciting planned anchor venues in the downtown area. I won't give those away now. I'll simply say the Chamber works closely with Waco's economic development team to foster this growth, ensuring the vision of Waco's future supports residents, visitors, and businesses alike. You'll enjoy this conversation with Matt, a true Chamber professional, as we explore the positive changes happening in Waco and the collaborative spirit driving the city forward. Well, I am D. Scott, and you are listening to the WACO Experience, an American Story, and we are on location again here at the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce. Beautiful building. If you haven't been down here on 3rd Street, you need to come down and tour because it is an elegant building. When my wife and I first came to Waco and we were downtown, we walked by and we go, what is that building? And we're looking in the windows, and it's the holiday weekend or something, right? So the building is dark and closed, but you look in, and that floor just stunned me. But we are talking with the president and CEO of the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce, Matt Meadors. Matt, welcome to the WACO Experience.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, we're talking about the Chamber, so let's go ahead and give us an overview of the Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. Well, the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce is, as many people would expect, is a traditional chamber of commerce. And so what that means is we're a business association. We have about 1,400 businesses that are members of the organization, and one of our primary charges is to work on behalf of the business community and to be their advocate. And that's a pretty traditional role for chambers of commerce. We also have the responsibility for being the lead economic development organization in Waco and McLennan County. And so what that means is we work very closely with a lot of very important partners in terms of driving our economy, diversifying our economy, creating desirable, good-paying jobs, helping our existing businesses and industry grow, and attracting targeted business and industry into the marketplace.
And so the whole premise of the WACO Experience is that businesses, government, and nonprofit all have different jobs, different tool sets, but the same goal. Let's build a strong community. So let's talk about the types of companies and businesses and organizations that are members and some of the activities that you guys have as the Greater Waco Chamber.
Sure. Our membership is pretty diverse, as you would expect. We have a lot of businesses that are members, but we have a lot of educational institutions that are members, units of government that are also active participants in our organization, a lot of nonprofit organizations. So it really is, our organization really is this nice melting pot of the community, if you will. And I think you hit on something that's really important. When you talk about the importance of having all of the players sitting at the table, striving to work together in order to accomplish really good things for the community. And in our community, this whole spirit of collaboration is real. And I'm really particularly proud of how our community comes together and is committed to working together to pull in the same direction, to really build our economy and address some of the challenges and opportunities that we have as a community.
Yeah, I'm a new resident to Waco, but looking at the infrastructure and the different organizations, and you talk about the economic development and the role that the Chamber has in attracting the jobs and the different companies to kind of fuel the growth. But there are some other economic development groups out there. So talk about some of those and how you integrate in with the other departments and organizations.
Sure. There are a number of organizations in our community who are active in what could be described as the economic development space. As an example, workforce development is an important component of economic development. And so we have great educational institutions and workforce development institutions that are doing really important work that are important partners in terms of economic development. So the whole scope of the partnership, if you will, when we bring a company in and we sit down with a company and its leaders or a corporate site locator or that corporate site locator's leaders, and we start having a conversation about why Waco and why McLennan County, we have quite a few of those individuals sitting around the table. First and foremost, we want to make sure that they understand that we're serious-minded about them being successful here. We want to make sure that they understand that when we talk about collaboration and we talk about partnership here, we mean it. And we lean on our partners to really help them grow and prosper as they move forward in our marketplace. And so a lot of those entities, those organizations that play an important role in economic development are sitting around that table when we have these conversations.
So I'm going to say something that I haven't said on air yet, and it may be controversial, but that's what this is all about, right? Magnolia. So let me just say something about Magnolia. Magnolia obviously has an impact on the community and has been here for quite a number of years. as I mentioned, being a new resident, but watching Magnolia from the outside and then coming in and becoming a part of the community, what I feel is that Magnolia was successful in Waco because of the culture of the Waco community and the business community, not the other way around, that Magnolia had an impact. I mean, they have an impact, but I think they became successful because of the overall culture and support that is here in the business community.
Right.
And so let's talk about kind of what you feel, because you came in a number of years ago, but what did you see when you first came in to Waco, the Chamber?
What I first saw really was unbelievable opportunity. The things that we talk about today when we're talking to companies were really things that I looked at and said, wow, this community is on the cusp of something special. And you fast forward about 12 years, and those of us who have been around for a while, I mean, we've seen it. We've talked about Waco, we've talked about the people, we've talked about their willingness to collaborate and partnership. We've talked about having strategic plans that drive our work and our thinking and our action. When we talk to companies, we talk about our physical location on the I-35 corridor and in the Texas Triangle. We talk about phenomenal infrastructure such as educational institutions and workforce development providers. All of those things were readily apparent to me when we were having those early conversations when I was going through the process of being recruited to come and lead the chamber. And it was an absolute no-brainer. Everything that I saw and anticipated in terms of the potential with this community going back about 12 or 13 years ago now has really materialized. The community was early in the conversations related to McLean Stadium, and I remember back in my office when I was in Southwest Indiana watching the news here, and I remember when the announcement came that the city had made the decision to become an active partner, an investor, and a catalyst of making that stadium a reality. And that was powerful to me because I'd heard the conversations during the process of recruitment, but then I saw the reality present itself, and that really reinforced to me that the leadership of this community was very serious-minded about transforming Waco from what was already a special place into a very special place. And that's the journey we're on right now.
Back when I was in the manufacturing world, when we talked about looking for locations for facilities, one of the rules we had was 5:55. That is, you didn't want to be more than 5 minutes from 55 miles an hour. You want to be along something like the I-35,
Absolutely.
Right? Because that is a lifeblood of a business, is being able to get materials in and then the outbound logistics and the whole thing. So it is ideally situated here. The education that's available here. So obviously Baylor is a big anchor. You've got McLennan Community College. You got the Texas State Technical College. There's a lot of good learning opportunities for people that come into this community.
Not just good, but great learning opportunities. If you look at our community, we are a college town. If you look at those institutions that you just mentioned, and Texas Tech and so forth that have a presence here, we have about 40,000 college students right here in our backyard. That's powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that adds a different dynamic and energy level.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So let's go back and talk about your journey to become president and CEO of the chamber here.
Well, as I think I mentioned a few minutes ago, I've been the president and CEO of the Greater Waco Chamber for around 12 years now. I was recruited out of Southwest Indiana. I was in Southwest Indiana as the president and CEO of that Chamber of Commerce for around 12 years, 11 and a half years, when a team reached out to me about the opportunity here in Waco. Prior to that, I've been a lifelong professional, Chamber of Commerce Association professional. Right out of college, I started. Actually went back once I graduated from college and started in my hometown. And I was in that Chamber of Commerce for about 3 years. Was recruited then to go to the Traverse City, Michigan Chamber of Commerce. And I spent about 14 years in Traverse City, Michigan. And then from there, the Southwest Indiana Chamber, and then my journey's brought me to Waco.
So what drew you into chambers?
Right.
Right. I mean, you were in college, and everyone has a dream.
Yeah, everybody has a dream. I didn't know anything about what chambers of commerce are, what they do. And there's an old saw in this industry. If you've seen one chamber, you've seen one chamber. And they really are a reflection. They really
That's
are a
good.
reflection of a community and the community's leadership and how they view that institution and the role that they want it to play. But I went to college, and I was thinking I studied public administration, ended up getting a degree in public administration. And I was thinking that I would like to go into working in government, maybe at state level or federal level. And I was in Indiana. I'm a graduate of Indiana University. And when I graduated from Indiana University, things were pretty tough in the Midwest. The Midwest was pretty much mired in an economic recession. And so I saw this opportunity. I went in. I had a conversation with the then CEO of the Kokomo-Howard County Chamber of Commerce in Indiana. I ended up getting a job. The job aligned with some level of my passion and my interest in terms of working for units of government. Also, I'm very interested in all matters of public policy. And so there was pretty good alignment there. And the rest, as they say, is history. I absolutely fell in love with the work in the industry. And I feel like I'm pretty blessed, honestly. I've been in this business now for a long time. It's been immensely rewarding. It provides me with an opportunity to play an active role with others in doing really good things for other people, helping other people prosper, be able to get good jobs, take care of their families. It's a incredibly rewarding profession.
One of the things that you hear, and you mentioned this about chambers being a reflection of the community. In some communities, the chamber is not very prominent. And in some cases, people will wonder, why would I be a part of a chamber of commerce?
Sure.
I would say WACO is one of those ones that definitely has a strong draw to be a member, to actually be participating in the chamber.
Right.
I want to focus in then on what are the types of benefits, activities, what are the things that people are involved in, whether they're a large organization like a university or whether they're a one-person solo entrepreneur. Why a chamber?
Sure. Our chamber provides individuals with a tremendous opportunity to be builders, and I think that's something that really attracts individuals to become involved in a chamber. It's really important to understand, for the listeners to understand, that our chamber is only 20 members strong in terms of paid professional team members. The real strength in this organization comes from the individuals who come from our membership ranks who want to become active in the organization and help craft the organization and position the organization to be catalytic and to do really good things in our community. Again, I continue to say to help develop and diversify and grow the economy and to create good economic opportunities for their fellow citizens. There are so many opportunities for businessmen and businesswomen in terms of getting involved in this organization and becoming active in certain areas that may interest them. We talked about developing the economy, but we also have a very robust body of work wrapped around all things workforce and development. We have a business education initiative that's part of our workforce development initiative and team. We have a lead leadership education and development or lead mentoring program that is unbelievably successful and is doing phenomenal things in our community. If your passion is public policy, we have a public policy construct in the organization. We're active in matters of public policy at the state level and the federal level. We put in place public policy platforms. We advocate for structures, if you will, that are beneficial, policy structures that are beneficial to the businesses. We have all sorts of events, all sorts of gatherings. We have opportunities to create important new relationships, to create friendships, to help grow your business, to help you learn and become a stronger business leader or business owner or leader of people. So it really is a multifaceted organization with many different opportunities. I think it's also important to point out that the vast majority, and this holds true in just pretty much every community, but the vast majority of our members are small business owners. And so everything that we do impacts the small business owner and the small business climate in terms of those individuals being able to grow and be successful. So if you're a small business owner, this is the organization for you. If you're someone who wants to build, and this is the organization for you.
One of the things that I found too with chambers and the businesses that choose to be a membership, because it's paid, right? You're making a financial commitment.
Correct.
If you get involved in the activities, and I want to talk
Correct.
about some of those coming up, it's a time commitment, right? So you're
Sure.
making a commitment on multiple fronts to be a part of it.
That's right.
One of the things I like about it is I'm new to town. I'm looking for a mechanic for my car.
Mm-hmm.
And you know where I go? The membership listing on the chamber, because there's a self-vetting process. Businesses that are shaky, shady, probably wouldn't be a member of the chamber.
Well, to some degree, I think if you're looking for, as you described, a provider, a service provider, a company to work with, and so forth, it's a great place to stop, because individuals who invest their finite financial resources and their time, they have a level of compassion and interest and care for their community. So it's a great place to start if you're looking for providers. There's no question about that.
One of the things that I talk about is that isolation is a killer. When you work in a business, and if you're a solo entrepreneur, sometimes you got the home office, you don't get out. You don't connect with people other than maybe online. A lot of networking opportunities, a lot of meet and greet opportunities with the chamber. And we've taken advantage of those and built friendships out of that.
Right.
And partner up with other providers, business providers, so we can do more together. So let's talk about, we're winding down. I mean, we just got a month and a half left here of 2024. What's coming up in 2025? What can people look forward to?
Sure. In terms of opportunities to become engaged, it really is we offer a breathtaking amount of opportunities for people to come together and to build relationships and to learn and to grow as business owners and business leaders. And we have a whole series of what we call State of, as it relates to our public policy, State of the City and County, State of the State, State of the Nation. All those are big gatherings with 300 to 400 people that come together. We have a series of what we call sports luncheons. We have 700-800 people that attend our sports luncheons. I mean, our events are attended by a lot of folks, and it's really one event after another after another. So you can slide in at any point in time if you make a decision to become an investor and become a member of the organization. And all you have to do is take a look at the calendar, and you will have many, many opportunities to be able to come together with others and, again, grow your business, build friendships. And there's a lot of synergy that comes from, you were talking about not being locked away. There's tremendous synergy that comes from interacting with other individuals who have similar challenges and similar concerns, and from that you create even new opportunities in terms of business opportunities. So it really is, if you are an entrepreneur or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, this is the place you want to be, because it's really going to energize you.
Mm-hmm. You want to surround yourself with people who understand what you're doing.
Right.
And sometimes your friends and family don't quite understand. If you're starting a business and they say, hey, let's go off to do whatever this weekend, and you're like, yeah, I got to work.
Right.
And what do they say? Oh, you work for yourself. Don't you set your own hours? So you need to be surrounded by people who understand what it means to run a small business.
Absolutely.
And you need that encouragement and support. Let's talk about some of these education opportunities for businesses and business owners.
Sure. There are many, and they are designed to give you stronger skills as business owners and business leaders, and they're designed to get you in front of others in the community who are doing community building, so you can understand what's happening, what government leaders, as an example, are thinking, and strategically where they're going with certain things like the new downtown master plan that's being discussed, and the city is looking at executing, which is pretty exciting, frankly.
And
in terms
that's
of
a 12-year.
Yeah, it's a long horizon, but it is an absolute transformative plan.
Let's go through some of those items. What are some of the big rocks that are going to come in with that plan that you see?
Well, I think a performing arts center is probably one of the bigger rocks that's being discussed. Interestingly enough, on an annual basis, this organization undertakes what we call an intercity leadership visit. And when we're looking, to your point, and the way you described it, big rocks, when we're looking at things that we're doing as a community and strategically where we're headed as a community and what aligns with our economic development strategic plan, we identify other high-performing communities, and we go out and we take a look at those high-performing communities and the leaders of those communities, And we strive for alignment, right? So we've talked about a new performing arts center as part of this new downtown master plan, downtown investment. And over the past three inner-city leadership visits, we've actually spent some time and we've looked at those communities that we visited. We've looked at their performing arts center. So, as an example, Orlando, we took a look at that community a couple of years ago. So we strive for alignment and we strive for continually looking at best practices. There's conversation about a new baseball stadium. And so we were just in Raleigh-Durham, and we had a chance to go and watch a baseball game over in Raleigh-Durham. So there are some pretty big catalytic things that are being looked at in terms of this downtown plan.
So you think maybe we could attract the WACO bananas?
It sounds kind of fun to me.
Savannah Bananas have been doing great. That is a force in the community. There's a huge opportunity for sports, for performing arts. These are the types of things that do bring outside dollars in. And so one of the last things I want to talk about is traded sector. This is something that's important for any community. These businesses that are selling things outside of the community and those dollars come in, there's a multiplier effect.
Sure.
So let's talk about some of these businesses that are providing jobs, but also just bringing dollars in. What do you see there?
Sure. Well, I mean, one of the industry sectors that is good to talk about within that construct is all things tourism and hospitality, right? So you have companies that are here that are creating jobs, and then we're bringing in outside dollars to move through the economy. You talked a few minutes ago, you mentioned Magnolia. The tourism hospitality sector of our economy has grown dramatically over the past 10 years, and it's an important sector. The more that you can attract outside dollars to come in and move through your economy, obviously that's a good thing, the way you're creating jobs.
There's quite a few new hotels that have been built, upscale hotels. New facilities in. Yeah, I was just thinking about the tourism. Do you have another eclipse planned for 2025?
Not necessarily, but if we could make that happen, we probably would.
Would that be good? Yeah, that would be great.
It'd be interesting.
What are the final thoughts that you have as we wind up here about the chamber, about the community that you would like people to take away from today's chat? And again, Matt Meadors, President, CEO of the Greater Waco Chamber, thank you for taking the time here. But wind us up here.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming out and spending some time with me. I think that Waco is going to continue to transform. We're just beginning to see what the Waco of the future is going to look like. I will tell you, I'm so excited about Waco and McLennan County and where this community is going. We've come a long way in 10 years. There are people who 10 years ago would not have imagined and would not recognize our community. And I think that growth is going to continue. I think we're going to continue to get great employers here and great people here and have individuals step in and assume leadership positions. And I think we're going to continue to see an evolution of Waco as it continues to mature. It's a very diversified and dynamic economy, and it's only going to get better.
The WACO Experience, An American Story, is a production of D. Scott Smith Company, all rights reserved. Thank you for listening.